Today is July the 11th, 2020. Today I'd like to begin to tell you a little bit about the end times, give you my opinion of the end times. And this is going to take a couple of days, so we're going to have to do a little bit each day and progress along because we only use about 5 minutes a day. So this will take a while. Now I want to give you my opinion of sort of a skeleton that we can build around and on for the events of what's coming, the end times. Now to me, the key verse for all of this is in the book of Daniel, chapter 9, the last verse in that chapter 27, Hebrews 9:27. I'm going to read it and then we'll go back and talk about it. It says there, "And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. And for the overspreading of abominations, he shall make it desolate, even unto the time, even unto the consummation, and that determined shall be poured out upon the desolate." Now, as we go back with that verse, first of all, it says he. So we have a man. So first thing, a man. It says he shall confirm the covenant. A covenant is an agreement, or maybe a treaty. So this man is going to make a covenant, an agreement with, it says here, with many. Not just a few, but many. And it says for 1 week. Now, you'll have to trust me here for a few minutes. That is not a week of days, that is a week of years. And I can prove it to you and be happy to a little bit later on. But this is not 7 days, it is 7 years. He's going to make a covenant, an agreement with a lot of people for 7 years. And it says in the midst of the week. Now, the middle of the week would, of course, be 3.5 years. So, going to make a covenant for 7 years, but in the middle of the week, 3.5 years later, something is going to happen. It says, "Then in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and oblation to cease." Boy, now we've got a lot here. This tells us the sacrifice and oblation has to do with the Jews. The Jews were commanded to offer a lamb in the morning and a lamb in the evening every day. That was the sacrifice that was made. Now then, for the Jews to offer a sacrifice, there's only one place in the world that they would offer a sacrifice, and that's at the temple. There is no temple. Temple's gone, been gone since 70 AD. The only place in the world that they would build the temple is on top of the Temple Mount. We have a big problem there. On top of the Temple Mount is a thing called the Dome of the Rock. This is a Muslim third most holy place in the world. First Mecca, and then Medina, and then the Dome of the Rock. This is a place that it is said that Muhammad rode a winged horse up to this spot and was caught up into heaven, where he prayed with some of the patriarchs and then came back down to this spot, and so they built this as a memorial of that spot. Now then, there is about 1 billion Muslims. There's about 14 million Jews, and the Muslims control the top of Temple Mount. And the Jews will not build their temple any place except on top of the Temple Mount. Somehow, in my opinion, this covenant, this agreement that this man is going to make with many, will somehow work out the differences and allow the Jews to build their temple back and start their offerings again. Now that's going to take some real doings. I don't understand how that can be, but that's what it says here. So the Jews are going to start back their offerings after the temple is constructed. And I understand in Jerusalem they have everything they need to rebuild the temple. They know who the priests are, they know who the high priest is, everything made. The only thing that they don't have is the Ark of the Covenant. And they say that the Ark of the Covenant is not lost, it is hidden. And when they need it, they can go and find it. Wow, boy, our 5 minutes are up already. So we've got a man who's going to make an agreement or covenant with a lot of people. And those people will include the Jews, the nation of Israel. And they will be allowed to start their worship back again. So we'll pick up right here where we left off tomorrow, and we'll continue on with my thoughts about the end times. So I'll see you then.